60. So I think you'll definitely see these Grand Valley guys in this race working a little bit together to get the kind of strategy that they want. And you see, I think it was Futter who's out in that first group, that smaller pack that will then cut in.
Yeah, it's a huge heat. That's the one thing that's going to be interesting to see. You know, you're going to have probably a pretty big group here just because the number of athletes. We only have one heat of the men's. So, you know, depending how physical it gets, if you can stay out of trouble, not get tripped up, and stay up front, you've got a chance of running a really good time. Futter has run just over 4:04 before, so he definitely has the talent in him to run a really fast time. Just hasn't put it together this year, but you know, this is a good heat to do it in.
Well, there we see Haviland out in front with his teammate Preston Earl, who's done just under 4:17. Kind of interesting, that first pack, those guys get a little bit of a comfort zone at the beginning, but on the stagger, they have to go a long way around before they cut back in. And we saw that Futter was in front of that pack, but by the time he got back in, he's getting squeezed a little bit right now, and people go down. They get back up and continue. I think that actually began with Futter. He bumped into the Parkside runner a little bit or made contact, and then a couple of people stacked up behind. Luckily, everybody is back up at it right now. We can't really attest to what their level of fitness is at this point, but it looks to me like everybody's continuing in pretty good fashion right now.
Yeah, they look pretty relaxed, and definitely, you know, you hear a fall like that, and that's definitely an incentive to move up to the front. I'm sure you're going to hear some coaches saying, you know, get up front and try and stay clean.
Well, you look at Futter, who's gone up there now with Haviland. They're running 1-2, and you talked about the fact that Futter has not had a great year at this distance, but he's a guy that is a good racer. We see David Mitter starting to charge up front as we go to the halfway point of this race. The Lake State guy who's representing his school. He's the only Lake State runner in this heat and in this race, and there are some people here from Lake State who are cheering for him, as they did yesterday. Futter right out there now with Haviland.
Yeah, they look pretty relaxed too. So
Preston Earl up there.
I'm hoping they're not too relaxed right now. Sometimes when you get that giant group, it's you know, it can be hard to pull away from that group, and just mentally leaving that group can feel a little uncomfortable. The last thing you want to do is have 20 guys chase you down too at the end. But at some point here, you know, you're chasing that national time. You really need to go.
Uriah Alley from Parkside is in there as well right now. He's running third. And Futter has done okay right now. We know he's a speed guy. Does he have enough for the tank? And I got to believe that pretty soon Haviland's going to make his move. He's not going to wait. His teammates coming up right now, too, from Northwood. That's Preston Earl. And as we approach the final couple of curves here, we will, for this lap, then we'll get on to the bell lap. And here they come.
Yeah, you've got 6 guys that have all run under 4:10, so or right, you know, 4:10 and just under. So,
what are you looking at for the final 300? What are these guys capable of at this point in the race? It looks like they're going to come here about 3:24, and here we go.
Yeah, it looks like he got tripped up on the bar there. Dillan Haviland. Now he's coming around.
Trying to work his way back up, and Futter is starting to turn it on a little bit, and he's stretching it out. Haviland's trying to go with him, but Futter has had a great race so far. Still looks well in control of himself. He's got a ways to go, but he's coming around, and he's going to be in a position where it's going to be a little difficult to catch him. Here comes Futter.
Yeah, he's going to be, you know, I think he's going to be right in that.
Boy,
407. So
Jerry Baltus just gave him a big wave and said, take it on. He's really sprinting this one out at the end. It's going to be a very good time for Futter. As you said, 4.6, mid 4.06.
Yep.
With Haviland coming third, and it's a runner from, I think, Saginaw Valley that came up for second there. Was that Brendan Nesbitt, maybe?